Welcome back to the Two-Way Hockey Podcast. It's been a rough week for the Leafs, to say the least. I think the Boston game was after our last podcast, right? Like, I don't think we... So it started off all right, and it's not been the prettiest ever since. How much of this do you blame on Babcock?
48%.
48%? So you're not even giving him the majority shares? Man, I'm giving him like 65.
Mac?
I don't know. You gotta. It's not blame, but you gotta take a lot of the credit away give a lot of the credit to Johnny T when he's in the lineup. I mean,
Sure.
Missing him the last couple games has really hurt them.
Yeah, I get that the team's obviously not what it normally is when JT's there, but like I watched like the little things, like the fact that he's trying to line match in a 3-on-3 overtime. Like why?
That was the worst one. That was like my biggest.
That really.
I'm sorry, but like you had the right idea. You had Matthews, Marner, Riley out there. Perfect. Run that. You're not trying to go into overtime to not lose. You're trying to go into overtime to win. So run that line out there. The whole line all night was Columbus loses in the first minute of overtime every time this year. So get them in the first minute. Get your best line out there. If that doesn't work, okay, fine. Then maybe try and work around a little bit. But like your first move is to go Mikheyev and Kapanen. I'm like, what?
Well,
why?
He even had Matthews and Marner out there, and then he took them off. Like they had the last change, and he took his three best players off the ice.
And 2 nights before that, they won the game in overtime against Boston.
Yeah. Those three.
Yeah, that exact line. And
against Boston's best line.
You had the right idea. He put them out there, and it's like, perfect, thank you. And then he just decided, nope, not the right idea.
Low key, that was like Hackstall or somebody was like, get out there before he says something, and then they came back.
He's like, wait, no. Just the other thing, you're going to disagree with me because, I already know your take on this. But, like, the goalie thing, the fact that you're consistently running with your starting goalie in the first game every time doesn't make any sense to me.
But that's every team in the league.
Yeah, but why are you conceding 2 points?
You're not. Well, you are, but if you are. Look at what just happened. If we start Hutchinson against Columbus, and we're not in that game, and then you start Freddie with a tired team against Boston, you're not in that game either.
But you have a better chance against Boston with Freddie in that. It was a game they could have won, man. Like
if you flip the goalies like you're saying, you have a better chance at 4 points. If you keep them the same, you're giving the guys routine, and you're basically guaranteeing yourself 2 points. And every team in the league does that. It started to become a thing in the Toronto media, and now I'm not saying you're wrong for it, but everybody's running with it, and it's not.
It's only because this part of the season, the back-to-backs are brutal. It's not like they have like 2 good teams or 2 bad teams. It's like you have a bottom feeder in like the Minnesota Wild, and then you play the Montreal Canadiens the next night. And I almost guaranteeing that Hutchinson could beat the Minnesota Wild. That's not a tall task. So you throw in Hutch.
It's not like Montreal is a good offensive team either, though.
They've been decent this year. It was early on. You don't really know what they are yet, but like they're a better offensive team than the Minnesota Wild, 9 times out of 10. So I mean, why not go for 4 points and say, you know what, you're giving Hutch the benefit of the doubt. He could probably beat the Minnesota Wild. I don't think Hutch beats the second half of most of these back-to-backs. I'd rather put myself in a position where I get all 4 points as opposed to conceding 2 of them because, you know what, we need to make sure we get 2. And then when you don't, it ends up like last night.
I don't know. I think the routine is a much bigger aspect of that.
But how routine is it though? Like it's not like it's not like these back-to-backs are consistently on similar days. It's like you just get sporadic back-to-backs throughout the year.
Yeah,
so it's not even really.
The Leafs did get screwed with back-to-backs so far, compared to Boston, who's had what, 1?
They haven't even had their first one yet, I think.
Yeah, and we've had 3 in like the last 2 weeks or whatever. But
and then we have another one this weekend. I think it is Friday.
You're banking on Freddie going out, shutting the door against Columbus in this particular one. Say that's a confidence builder. You're going into a tired game. You got your 2 points. Take the 2, whatever.
Realistic. Bottom line is, I think they need a better backup.
Yeah, I think if they still had McElhaney.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a
discussion. This isn't a story. Like, it's not really an issue. The problem is they don't have a backup. And it's like it's one of those things that people are like, "Oh, you can't bash Hutchinson, blah blah blah." It's like, well, like realistically, name me a Stanley Cup winning team that didn't have a ridiculous backup goalie. Like recently anyways. Like if you're gonna win, you need two. You need one and another one that's like
St. Louis, Jake Allen.
Okay, but Jake Allen used to be a stud. Like I'd take Jake Allen 3 times over Hutchison.
Oof, that's a hot one.
Maybe not today's Jake Allen. Like
I saw the other day when Hutchinson lost the other day. It was all over Twitter. Yeah. Oh, the Leafs should go after a guy like Jonathan Quick. First of all,
you can't afford
that. You can't pay that. No. If they retain 50% of his salary, you still can't pay that. And 3, what do you mean a guy like Jonathan Quick if you don't mean Jonathan Quick? There's nobody like Jonathan Quick. He sucks. He's so overpaid.
Yep.
He's brutal.
He's unique as shit, and what he does not work anymore.
He used to be good, and then everybody figured out, there's this thing called cross crease.
Yep. He didn't even really used to be good. He had like 1 or 2 years where he was incredible.
He was really good around the Olympics.
At times, yeah.
The 2010 Olympics.
And in the playoffs. Clutch as hell in the playoffs. Even the 2 years ago when they went up against Vegas.
He was like sporadic Tim Thomas in that, like just flailing around, and then teams figured out, hey, he has no idea how to position himself.
I'm pretty sure he had, I think it was a .949 save percentage in the series against the Golden Knights, and they still ended up losing that series. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, LA's a dumpster fire, but that's a different story for time.
Yeah, we can get to them maybe later. Man, I'm not a big fan of Babcock these days. Like, I've tried really hard to be like, it's okay, give him the benefit of the doubt. Still one of the best coaches of all time. But, like, I just don't think this is his team anymore, man. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't think they fire him unless something goes seriously wrong here. Like, they lose 5 in a row. Something like that. I don't see them turning their back on him after how many years? Like 4 years into this, and so slight improvements. And, like, everybody's ripping star players aren't putting up enough points. Matthews is still on pace for 60 goals. And he's not a James Neal guy that's going to fizzle off the top of the leaderboards. He's a legit goal scorer.
Yeah.
The Leafs are on pace for 98 points. And we haven't played good.
Yeah.
98 points.
I know.
That's okay.
It's a lot. I know, but for me, it's not the regular season thing that's the issue. It's like you still see the faults in this team, and I'm concerned of what that's going to look like come playoff time.
But how much of that is Babcock?
A lot, I'd find. A lot of it's like systematic problems.
Better players. Like Hyman's a top 6 forward, but like maybe not a top 6 forward, but
I was gonna say if Hyman's the guy you're missing, and that's the reason your team goes from like elite to like okay, you're pretty good. I feel like there's probably a little bit of an issue there. No, like Hyman's good.
If we have JT, Hyman, and Dermott back, you probably win that game against Columbus. You win one of those other back-to-backs a couple weeks ago, and then we're not even having this conversation.
Does Dermott help your back end defensively?
Completely.
Right now?
Completely. Dermott has the best gap control.
Okay, yes, that's fair. Over Marincin, yes. But
Hall. Yeah.
Hall's been okay.
Dermott is
he's not Travis Dermott, you're right. But I don't know if Dermott's the savior that's going to come in and make this defensive core.
Yeah, but now you can put out your third. Now you can put out your third pairing against more than just their fourth line.
Yeah, you're not playing them 12 minutes a night. Now you can throw them out there 15 and PK time and not worry about it.
And that takes pressure off the other 2 lines. And then they're
you're not playing your first 2 lines 22 and 24 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
The one other thing on Babcock though, just to throw it out there, he said he hasn't noticed CC, and that's a good thing. What is he watching?
He hasn't noticed CC.
Sometimes CC's okay, and sometimes it's like, oh my good God, what is that?
Yeah.
That's right-handed Marincin.
Yeah.
And what do you mean you haven't noticed him?
I guess he's saying it's like a steady D, defensive D. It's better not to notice because it means they're not making as many mistakes.
Him, he's not making
I've noticed the hell out of him. That's the problem.
I know what you mean, and to me that's Dermott. Like he just does all the little things right. You don't give him credit for it. You don't bash him for it. That's not Cody Ceci.
Like when you don't notice Jake Muzzin, it's a good thing because he's just incredible defensively and he's doing his job back there.
Steady Eddie.
And he's had a rough few games too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
He was good offensively against Columbus though. He just went on the rush, took off, looked good. I saw a tweet today. Do you guys follow Jake B. Leafs on Twitter?
Probably.
So he's a Leaf fan account basically. So he tweeted out. He goes,
"I got that from the name."
Yeah, no shit. He goes, if you ignore the cup-winning 2009 Penguins, 2010 Blackhawks, 2012 Kings, 2016 Penguins, and 2019 Blues, and also 2019 round winners Boston, the Islanders, and Carolina, there's basically no evidence of stale old coaches being replaced and their team finding success within a year or two. Which, like, look back, man, half these teams made these changes, and it drastically changed these teams. And I just think we might be in a situation where that's looking what it is. Babcock's a good coach, and we've been successful with him. But, like, is he the coach that gets you to here?
And I'm not taking the blame off Babcock. Like I said, I think he's made a lot of questionable decisions, but I don't see them firing him right now. What are they going to do?
I don't disagree with you there.
But Hackstall as head coach from assistant, he's no thank you. Like, things went sour real quick in Detroit, Philly. You're not going to call Keefe up halfway through the AHL season when you expect the Marlies to go win the cup again.
That's the big thing. Is like, yes, he would be. I think he's a better option in my point of view, but it's gonna fuck with your development down there. And right now, that's a little more important than
exactly. So I don't think it happens right now. And then the only other thing would be to sign somebody. And unless you're going out of the blue, somebody that's not on a team right now,
then it's a
I don't know. What do you want, Craig McTavish? No thanks. Yeah. Like, unless you're waiting for the Wild to fire Boudreau, but I mean, that's another defensively minded coach.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Unless there's an option out there, I see where they don't really have the ability to fire him. Like, I just think at some point there needs to be a change made in order for. I don't see this team making it to that next level with him behind the helm.
And I love Dubas, but I don't see the team making it to the next level, period.
No.
They are so inconsistent. There's so many little things that they do wrong. They rely on Freddie so heavily every night.
Yeah.
Even games that you're like, oh, they won 5-2. Yeah, Freddie made 35 saves, and 4 of them he was standing on his head.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like, even the backup situation, it's like, it's not that Hutch is a bad goalie. It's just like he can't be what Freddie is. There's not many guys that can go out there and do what Frederik Andersen does night in and night out. So you bring in literally – you're going to get 90% of backups that are going to have to come in and face 35, 40 shots a night, and they can't do that coming in twice a month.
Yeah, because if they can do that, they're not a backup on a cap-strapped team.
No.
Like,
and even Anderson hasn't been, like, amazing.
He's been October Anderson, basically. Like, it's not – he's back to, like, where his numbers aren't pretty in October, and then he'll step it up in November, December, which it's fine. It happens. If he doesn't snap back, then it's a little concerning, but he's been good enough for October, I think.
Like, I mean, Hutchinson's still seen 106 shots so far this year in 3 games. Quick math, that's like 34.8. I don't know. Yeah. It's a lot of shots.
It's a lot of shots.
Makes in some defense.
Yeah, a lot of that's got to do with the defense, and there's a big hole in that defense right now in Martin Marincin. I missed a lot of the game yesterday, but they brought out Gravel over Marincin, right?
Yeah, and Patan over Spezza, which shows you how much he doesn't like Spezza.
Yeah,
But back to the D.
Or is that how much he likes Shore? Like, I don't know. But yeah, anyways, pylon. Is Gravel is Gravel an improvement over that?
No.
No? I didn't really catch much of them.
Neither of them are great.
No. So what's your choice right now? Because odds are you're not going to bring back Sandin. And where does that leave you?
You rotate Gravel and Marincin, hoping to get by until Dermott's back?
He's not far off.
I was going to say
he's only back this weekend.
It's supposed to be the 24th or 25th that he's allowed to be back, right? I think.
Yeah, he's back before Halloween, I think they said.
So you're hoping Dermott fills that hole and he's healthy and ready to go? That's kind of the only way to do it.
I think Dermott with one leg is better than those two.
Yeah, that's fair. It sucks because Marincin seems like such a good guy and he's such a nice human being, but you watch him out there on the ice and it's like, holy shit.
My favorite was who was it? Dubois' goal from behind the line where he walked past Matthews last game. I think it was the first goal. And everybody's like, oh, Matthews, got to get a stick in there, blah, 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 blah. Like, Matthews was on his guy. Sure. Yeah. When you show the right camera angle, Marincin was in the net.
Yeah.
Beside Freddie.
You sent me that picture.
It's not a thing, bro. That ain't it.
Yeah. It's a mess. It's not pretty. And it sucks because he's really good in the AHL. He does a great job down there, but just
he's
cannot.
He's a 4A player.
Yeah.
Except for Game 6 of 2018 Calder Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a yikes.
Single-handedly lost that game. I was at that game too. Oh yeah.
Didn't
That was a big yikes.
Didn't Sparks throw up a grenade too? Like it was bad.
The guy had like 2 passes right on the tape to the other team. Walked in, shot, and then he took 3 stupid penalties.
Yeah, he was like dash
5-4
the
loss.
biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. I think the experiments.
Speaking of the D though, Hall, still don't know how to say it, still don't really care.
I'm pretty sure it's Hall, but
he's looked pretty good, to be honest.
He's good enough.
He's been a bit of a bright spot, maybe.
He's been a better skater than he's been in the past. He's throwing his weight around a bit.
He just looks
joins
confident, which I mean makes sense when you play.
Yeah,
it's the whole Frank Corrado get benched for 2 years, Nick Patan smelling in the press box. Like, you don't get better up there.
No, exactly. When you're not on the ice, like when you're practicing, sure, like you're on the ice, but like you're not getting these game situation moments that all these other guys are getting.
No.
So you try to get thrown back in that, and it's like trying to bring yourself back up to game speed after taking a month off is good luck, man. Like it's not going to happen.
God damn, the Senators scored again. Sorry. Go.
No, you're good. No, I like that he's actually contributing this year because he came up in that first game when he scored. Or first 2 games, he scored what goal in both his first 2 career games, right? It's like you looked at this guy like, holy shit, where did he come from? And for a guy that's been like a career AHLer for the most part and battled his way to where he is, it's good to see him finally contributing, getting a healthy shot at being on this lineup. It's nice. It's a change of scenery from some guys that are underperforming.
Definitely.
Speaking of underperforming, I don't know if I want to bring it up, but is Mitch Marner, like, should we be concerned there?
No.
I'm concerned that we're paying him 11. It's not the offense that's scaring me because, like, he's still doing Marner things. Like, he tries to do Marner things at least.
Still over a point per game.
Yeah, like he's scoring his points, and that's great. But, like, some of the stuff in the back end, man, like that, the first goal second goal against Columbus on the power play when he just kind of, like, lackadaisically turns it over, and then he's like, oh, shit, panics and goes towards the puck carrier where Morgan Riley's standing, leaves his guy wide open.
That was bad, but at the same time, anytime you mess up on the power play, it's a good chance coming the other way because everybody's scattered. Everybody's thinking one dimension.
Yeah, but
you're in.
He's in a situation where like you have 2 guys back on 2 other guys, and Morgan Riley's covering that man. You see him there. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's not even just that. There's just been a few miscues in the back end that I'm kind of like, ooh, that's not Mitch-esque.
I've never thought he was great 2-way player though.
No.
There was a couple shifts
that got pumped up real big.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's also one of your penalty killers, though, right? So you're kind of expecting him to be a little bit better in the back end.
Yeah, and he's good with his stick. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He's a smart offensive player, which means you're a smart defensive player. It doesn't mean you're a good defensive player. No. He picks off passes. He wins some stick battles.
He's
and
good.
People are like, "Oh my god!"
He takes a lot of risks too.
Win the Selke.
A lot. Yeah. That's the thing that frightens me. It's like because last couple seasons it's been working. Like he'll take these ridiculous chances and it works. And it's like perfect, but he's just not seeming to get those bounces this year. And it's like
and that's why I'm not worried about it. I'd say like the biggest thing is that his 5-on-5 points aren't there. But again, he was playing with Kapanen with Tavares. That wasn't working. We all know how that went. Now he's missing Tavares, and like yes, he still should be putting up his points. Yeah. But, I mean, we're still, 10 games into the year? I'm not worried about it. He's over a point per game. You don't lose skill overnight.
Yeah,
he's fine.
How do you guys proving a little bit that he can't do anything without Tavares?
Yeah. Tavares drives that line. Yeah.
Mr. Pay him because he drives the line. Can't drive the line.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about them rotating Nylander and Marner?
I don't get it.
Okay. As long as I'm not alone on this, I hate it. I don't understand. Like I pick one. Like I don't care if you want to have Matthews and Marner together as a line. That's fine. But like stick with it. Don't flip flop every 5 minutes because you want to try something different.
If you're gonna double shift one of them and throw them out there for that extra one, sure. You want to finish a period with one of them, sure.
Yep.
But switching them, I think it was every 2 lines or every 2 shifts too, which doesn't make any sense. It wasn't like no. Let the guys have some rhythm. Let them play with each other. Like if you want to play Marner with Matthews, which Babcock has always said he doesn't want to do, then do it or don't. Like
exactly. Don't shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
It's just because it's one of those things too. You see it, and it's just like you look at Nylander Matthews, like holy shit, this is buzzing, and then you switch it, and then you're like, okay, and then it takes a little bit, and Marner starts buzzing with them, like okay, cool, and then they change it again. I'm like, man, you're getting no flow here.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it gets going, you cut it and try something different. I'm like, it just I don't understand the move. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No.
I know you're deep, but
Yeah.
you got? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like what Babcock's doing. I'm just very against Babcock right now.
Really? The guy in the
Yeah, I don't know if you
Sens
noticed.
jersey?
Don't know if you noticed. You don't like my Sens jersey?
Nobody
You don't
does.
like my Big O? This is, I think it's the Centennial Classic. There's
The Big O, where
little
you could sit
Centennial Classic.
against the glass for $50 at
Yeah,
their game
exactly.
tonight.
With all 12 fans hanging out. I love it. It's just an intimate. It's an intimate setting between all 100. I don't even like the Sens. I can't even put up this argument. The jersey was like $15, and it's a sick jersey. I love it.
So it's fake, confirmed.
Yeah, it's real as shit. It's Fanatics right there, right there. I don't know if you can
That
see
says
it from
fantastic for anybody who
Fantastic.
can't read it on his blurry screen.
It's the NHL Fantastic series. It's incredible. No, it's good. Thank you. Craig Button. Bold take of a man. He was on, was it Leafs Lunch? Overdrive?
Overdrive.
Overdrive.
Yeah.
He was on Overdrive the other day. Do you have the exact quote in front of you? I don't have it, but
let's give it to Mac first because he's the unbiased one out of the three of us here.
okay.
But he just said, let me read it here. The top 5 player in the league conversation about Austin Matthews needs to stop. He's not better than Leon Draisaitl. He's not in that conversation right now.
Okay. I have a bit of bias as a Leaf fan. It's fine. But like I'm not saying Draisaitl's not incredible. I just think Matthews is above him in the sense. However, the big argument against Draisaitl for so long is that he plays with McDavid, right? Like it makes him look better than
That's not
No,
just
so this is I looked it up because I wanted to see like what exactly McDavid does for this kid. And so basically he has 6 goals, 10 assists this year for 16 points. Of his 10 assists, he's had 3 assists to McDavid, 3 to Zach Cashin, 2 to James Neal, 1 to Nuge, and 1 to Bear.
And I want to say 2 of those to McDavid are power play.
I think 1. I don't even think
but
it's 2.
Still, yeah. Just throwing it in
there. He has 1 secondary assist. So he has 9 primary assists. And of the 6 goals that he scored, only 3 of them have come from McDavid. And I think one of those is power play. Mm-hmm. So essentially, McDavid's only been in on 37.5% of his points, which like realistically, like that's typical line mate stuff, right?
That's a line. Yeah, 3 guys on a line would be 33%.
Yeah. So he's doing a lot of this scoring on his own. Like it's not like he used to be. I can say he's been carried by McDavid in the past, but he's not anymore.
Yeah. Mac, you got anything to add there?
Yeah. I mean, Matthews obviously drives his own line. Nylander's obviously a nice compliment for him, but that's the difference, right? Draisaitl can drive his own line, but most of the time he is with McDavid. Even though the stats show it's pretty typical stats, they are putting up a crap ton of points for who they are, right?
Yeah.
So that number is a little bit inflated when you go to percentage-wise.
They've been shut out the last 2 nights. So.
Oh, they have, yeah.
Yeah, regression time.
Well, welcome back, boys. We missed you. Yeah.
And now John Carlson's leaped ahead of them by 3 points and whatever. I think they're actually very similar players in the sense that they can both score goals. They're both fairly similar in their own end. They're both big body guys and aren't afraid to get in the corners.
Mm-hmm.
In my sense, they can both make cases for being a top 10 player. I don't know if either of them are a top 5 player right now. I mean, you got McKinnon, McDavid, Crosby, Malkin when he's healthy, Kane. I mean,
I think Malkin's a bit of a stretch right now, but
he's hurt.
Well, even like last year,
he's never had a season with less than a point per game. Am I not?
Was he?
Right?
Was it not last year that he had his point per? He was below it. No. Okay.
I don't know.
No, that was my cold take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, I don't know. There's your 5 guys, right?
Yeah, that's what all I was gonna say. I was gonna say like, this is blowing up here. Like people are so up in arms over this, and I'm not prepared to say Draisaitl's better, but I've watched almost every Oilers game this year. My roommate's a diehard Oilers fan. Poor bastard.
Sorry.
Yeah. And people don't realize how good Draisaitl is. They just look at the Oilers and say, "Oh, he plays with McDavid." Same as what Brant said.
Yeah.
He's quick.
Yeah.
For a guy who's, I think he's bigger than Matthews. He's quicker than Matthews, not a question.
Yeah.
He has a great shot. I'd say he's a better passer than Matthews. Not the same shot, but it's still.
No.
He's a great player.
Matthews' shot's tough to match.
He's literally. They're literally Crosby, Malkin, McDavid, Draisaitl. Like people just don't realize that yet. They're like, oh, like it's all McDavid, but no, Draisaitl. I'm prepared to say they are the same player. They're on the same tier. I don't think either of them is a top 5 player.
Might be losing Nick here.
Uh-oh.
I got him still.
I don't think either of them are a top 5 player. Like Max said, I think McDavid. Then I think you go Crosby, McKinnon.
Yeah.
And then I got Kane and a bunch of guys.
You say McKinnon, Crosby?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I put McKinnon closer to McDavid.
Yeah, but that like in tiers for me.
But
McDavid,
I don't know, man. I'm like the more I watch McKinnon, the more I think McKinnon might be on a tier of his own in between the two of them.
And that's fair, but I just think Kane, Matthews, Draisaitl, a bunch of guys, Kucherov are all in a tier together.
Okay.
They could push for top 5. I don't think those comments were as crazy as people say. I do think Craig Button needs a haircut, but
he's an interesting man. I mean, they're obviously going to get blown up because it's the Toronto market, and it's like Matthews is a god here, right? But like you and I both had the discussion. It's like he's not the most consistent scorer, which comes with the territory. Like I get it. Like even Ovechkin has spells where he doesn't score for 5-6 games, and you're like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? So I mean, it happens given his territory, but like you seem to get a little bit more consistency out of Draisaitl just because he's not that like 50-60 goal scorer he's not expected to be that 50-60 goal scorer that Matthews is expected to be.
Even though he was last year.
Yeah, but like it's kind of you're expecting like 35-40 goals with a handful of assists put together, right? Because he can pass the puck and he can see guys all over the ice, right?
I think Nick said it best there with the comparison to Crosby Malkin. I mean, look how undershadowed Malkin has been his whole career under Crosby, right?
Yeah. Not a top 100 player, excuse you.
Yeah. Like the problem though is they've been afraid to use them as 2 lines. It's always been like, let's go McDavid, Draisaitl together, and I haven't watched the year last year.
He was by himself though.
They moved him in a lot when they weren't winning. It was because they were on 2 different lines, and then they go on stretches like that big. I think they went on like an 8-game run last year, 7-8 game run, something like that. And it was because they put them back together and they started winning games.
Yeah, but that's like when you take 2 guys, that's the whole argument again about driving a line. Like it makes it that much harder to score when you have 2 literal nobodies because it's Edmonton on your wing. Yeah. First, why not? Like they play them 23 minutes.
James Neal, league leader in goals.
Yeah, last year I meant last year, but also this year, except for him.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying...
They literally play 22, 23 minutes a night every night. They play the full power play, the 2 of them. Like,
I'm not saying there was any other way to do it, but I'm just saying up until this point, it's tough to compare it to Crosby Malkin, because it's like you've never really had the chance to see them both drive their own lines, right? Like for pretty much all of their careers, it's been Crosby line 1, Malkin line 2, and it's like if you needed a goal late, you put them together, but for the most part, it's like they're out there driving their own lines, making their wingers better, right? You haven't really seen that out of them yet, so it's tough to... you can definitely see where they might end up being that one day.
And to take it back to Matthews, I would say he probably does have the higher ceiling still.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's
as Jeff O'Neill said on there, and as we've talked about, like it's just the consistency. Yeah. It's not even the goal scoring for me that's inconsistent, because like you said, that happens. Like Ovechkin doesn't score every game. Goal scoring is the hardest thing to do for a reason. Everybody's inconsistent with it. Yep. For me, it's the fact that some nights it's like, oh my God, Austin Matthews. And then nights like last night against Boston are like, wait, did Matthews play?
Yep. Yeah. He's even like winning draws too. He's not very consistent at.
Yeah. For him, it's about zone entries, puck possession, winning draws, having the puck like in high danger chances. Mm-hmm. And some nights he just isn't there. And I think that's what'll take him above Draisaitl.
Yep.
And that's enough Leafs talk for the next 4.
Yeah, I was going to say we could probably transition into that from we'll go to the rest of the league. Speaking of guys that put up a lot of points, John Carlson, what the hell is this man this year?
Did anybody take him for Norris? Because
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Tough luck for us.
Yeah, apparently. Where did this come from, though? Like, yes, he's been a good scorer the last few years, but
He's been steadily increasing every year for the last 8 years.
This is a little more than steadily increasing.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
for
going
sure.
on this line, and then all of a sudden you're like, yep, straight up, here we go. He leads the league in points. Am I wrong?
Nope.
No, you're right.
League leader.
Nuts. 20 points
Yeah.
through.
He went
through 11
from
games.
2015-16, he had 39 points. The next year, he had 37. 2 years ago, he had 68. Last year, he had 70.
Yeah.
And
so his biggest jump was a couple of years ago, and then
he's on
this
pace
year.
for what, like 150 something right now? That's
Yeah.
obviously not sustainable. But,
Says who?
I mean, maybe he sustains it. Maybe he becomes one of the best defensemen of all time in scoring. But that's if he keeps this up, man. Washington could be something to mess with. I'm pretty sure one or both of you had them near the finals at some point.
I had them in the finals. We both had them to win the division.
Yeah.
I think we both have them in the finals now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Did you? Yeah.
I had Vegas beating them in the finals, I think.
Yeah. So, if they keep that, if you get John Carlson firing even close to that, and then you get your other guys kind of back up to where they need to be, that team's going to be dangerous, man. Your goalie situation is interesting with Samsonov and Holtby. If Holtby can't figure it out,
Holtby last 3 games he's let in 4 goals. So
yeah.
So
after we bashed him, he turned it around. You're welcome.
So it's the two-way buzz. Love it. Yeah.
Well, when is he a free agent?
Holtby?
Is it after this year or next?
Holtby, you mean?
Holtby?
Because we had a whole conversation about Samsonov, Holtby in the expansion draft, because Samsonov is going to be amazing. Mac, I don't think you were here for that podcast, but he's legit.
Yeah, he's really good, yeah. He was a first rounder, was he?
First rounder, yeah.
He was pretty high, yeah.
So what happens in the expansion draft if Holtby's contract's up after this year? Does that have any effect?
It is up after this year.
It is up after this year.
Yeah.
When? The expansion draft's after next season?
Yeah, but Samsonov doesn't have to be protected because he's on his entry-level contract.
I thought it was if you played.
It's a games played thing. It's not a
So
contract.
maybe they'll keep him out of games because of that.
That's where I was wondering.
But as a goalie, if he's on the roster, then does that count towards?
No, it's games played.
Okay.
Is it 25 for goalie?
I'm not sure.
I
honestly don't even know what it is for players. So very good research.
There's a
very
bunch
good
of
research
about
podcast.
pro games played in North America.
Yeah,
but they have to expose one goalie. No.
Exactly.
No. Oh yes, but there's one where you can protect 2 goalies and a certain amount of skaters. It could be completely different rules too. Like the Vegas draft was completely different than what they've done in the past.
If anything,
they could change.
It's the same as Vegas.
Yeah. Is it? They've already said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first thing he said. He's like, if I'm paying, what was it, $600 million?
Yeah.
I'm getting good odds to win the cup.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're down to 4 names, eh? Shout out to the potential Seattle Kraken totems, something else and something else.
Is Starbucks actually a thing?
No.
Okay, because I saw that in on I don't even know where it was, but I saw
Can you imagine?
There was 4 names and Starbucks was there. I'm like, that's
just
not
a constant
thing, right?
promo.
Just a bunch of they're wearing barista costume things. Yeah. I love it.
They have pumpkin spice latte jerseys in October.
They mix it up a little bit. That'd be nice. I can't find all first year and second year NHL players will be exempt.
Yeah, so it's when you're in your 3rd year of your entry level, it reverts to games played, and then beats me for goalies.
So,
I don't know.
I think it's all one goalie who's under contract.
Yeah, one goalie who is under contract in 2021-22 or will be a restricted free agent at the end of his current contract immediately prior to 2021-22. So he's still got one more year after this year on his entry-level contract, so technically he doesn't have
He's
RFA
okay.
status until, I
Okay.
guess it still is prior to 21-22.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just every time I read it, I'm like, oh no, I don't.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's confusing as shit. I don't know. Takes a
Yeah.
lot smarter.
Long story
minds
short, they're
to
trading a
figure that
roster
out.
player to protect one of their
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of what they're gonna get at. It'll be a fun draft for
and
Seattle.
to
I
reel it
don't
all
think
back
I'd
in,
take that.
John
Like
Carlson
that's
protect.
your Marc-Andre Fleury right there is Braden Holtby.
Yeah.
Younger though is the only
Yeah.
thing.
And
Yeah.
not as
How many
accomplished
other
maybe.
how many other
Well, I guess
goalies
he got a
are-
cup.
Yeah. He won a cup on his own, and then he won 2 with Pittsburgh. And the second one of Murray's year, like Fleury was kind of the only reason they were still in it.
Yeah, he got into the
He's-
first round anyway.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
then half of the second round before he faltered once, and they're like, "All right, Murray, get back in there." So I mean, he's an established playoff goalie. He just had a couple of tough years.
Yeah, he's the more accomplished for sure at
Yeah,
the point of expansion draft. But just the fact that Holtby's a couple years younger at that point would
Yeah, it'd be 4 years younger or something like that.
yeah.
there's not many other people available, anyways. Like that's basically your guy. That's the top guy you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You see how it worked out for Vegas, so why not give it a shot? Yeah. From some positive news to some real negative news for the Avalanche. Rantanen hurt his knee. Should have looked that up before. Good job researching. One of the two. Something in his legs.
Ankle.
Disgusting.
Ankle.
They were hoping it was not too bad. Turns out he's out week to week right now.
You guys saw it?
And I have not seen it yet.
You see the picture, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross.
And like
you could see the guy's
I've done that before.
his skate was backwards behind the guy. It's gross.
It's when on the kind of on the inside of a crossover and the toe, like the black part of your toe skate goes into the ice and like you feel it instantly. And I've obviously never done it near that bad, but like as soon as your toe hits the ice, you're like, ow, shit. And his leg went back.
Ooh,
that was gross.
For
so
like a millisecond, but yeah, it's like
that was like a
enough to be
injury,
yeah. So they're saying it's week to week. They're still not really sure if it's anything major. They're gonna assess him after next week, I think they said.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
It's not minor.
No, it's not. It's going to be like play it by week. It's not like a day-to-day thing. We're like, oh, maybe he'll get in next game. It's just like, okay, well, we'll see how he feels in a week. And if not, well, shit. That's a big loss if you're Colorado.
It is. I mean,
like, I love Nate Mack, don't get me wrong. And I know they lost Rantanen for the little bit of the end last year, and they still looked really good. But it's a lot easier to go on a small stretch of games when you got Nate Mack as opposed to him trying to carry the team for even a month.
Especially in that division.
Yeah.
If they lose 6 points, that they say they lose 6 games in overtime, that they could have maybe won the game with him.
Yep. That might be the difference between you being number 1 in the division and maybe competing for the second wild card.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, it's a big loss, but again, that shows like last year they literally had 1 line. And they were able to somewhat survive when he went down, but now they have 2 lines. Like, even if they slide, Donskoy up there or somebody, then they can slide Burakovsky up to the second line with Kadri.
Isn't Burakovsky on that line right now? Pretty sure the last couple nights has been Burakovsky, Kadri.
I think they were flipping, but I could be wrong.
Last I checked, it was Burakovsky, Kadri, and Donskoy together, which worked out really well for them. Burakovsky's been gross. You might be able to slip.
He's never really put it together fully. He's got all the skill.
He's got confidence issues too.
Yeah. I mean, you're right about the second line, and then the third line right now is Wilson, Yost, Comfer, and then they've got Nieto, Calvert, and Belmar. I mean, Calvert's a guy that was in their top 6, 3 years ago?
Yeah. Which looks better for them now.
Yost has been playing a bit of the middle and the wing, so maybe he's a guy that slides up. He's pretty quick playing with Donskoy. I don't know.
He got a hat trick the other night too.
Yeah. Just overall, what I'm trying to say is they have depth now. And
so it might not hurt as much as it would have last year.
As last year, yeah.
But it still hurts.
Yeah, still just sucks for hockey. Like, that's a guy who could put up another 100-point year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now their games are finally on TV, and now their best guy. One of their best
Have they
guys.
figured out their altitude shit? That was a joke. That whole situation.
Ridiculous.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I love it. You got one of the best players in the NHL, and hometown people can't even watch them on TV.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Columbus?
Brant gave me a stat the other day that 6, I guess it's 7 now.
7 now, yeah.
Columbus's last 7 games have all been 1-goal games. Wish I had known that before.
Did not know going into that game. Yep.
So
both of
maybe
us bet
don't.
on the puck.
And I mean, it makes sense when you watch them. They're fairly solid defensively, realistically. Their forwards are defensively responsible. That's Tort's game. That's always been. They can't score. Their power play is abysmal.
Off. They had like 6 against Toronto, did they not?
They don't have set spots. They don't have good shooting angles. They keep guys too low, and they keep them straight up the middle where you can't get a shot off when they're covered.
It's just a mess.
And there's no setup. It's basically like give it to Werenski and let him buzz around a bit till he finds a lane. Hope that Atkinson's open for a one-timer, but he isn't because he's on the edge of the circle.
Busy putting the net back on its moorings.
That was funny.
So funny.
Smart play.
I've never seen that. Have you ever seen someone do that? Like in a game?
Did you see Freddie try and shove it back off after?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Just battle with the net. It's hilarious. Korpisalo's been good for them too recently.
Surprisingly, yeah. I mean, he's always shown flashes, but I mean, obviously he wasn't getting many starts behind Bob.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of upside for sure.
Yeah, he was always highly touted.
He made some huge saves in that Toronto game.
And I don't know, I always just have faith when a Finnish GM takes a Finnish player.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much stock into that, but
yeah. Bottom line,
when you take your guy, it says something like you have faith that he can get there.
You mean like Dubas with everyone from what do you call it, the Sioux?
Yeah, but all those have turned out.
Yeah, the Sioux was really good 3 years ago.
Yeah,
they still are, but I mean they were really, really good 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Bottom line, don't bet Columbus on the puck line. It's not worth it.
Speaking of the Sioux, can I throw one in here that we didn't have written down?
Yeah, go for it.
Barrett Hayton. I don't know how much you guys watch him. He's amazing in the OHL. So gross. And this is 2 years in a row he's been sitting in the press box for the first couple games of the year for Arizona. Mm-hmm. He's been scratched the last 4 games. I think he's played 1 game right now, and he got an assist. I know he got an assist in his first game. I think he's only played 1. He's like high-end talent. He was taken 5th overall. Yeah.
Over, wasn't that over Zadina or something?
Yeah, over Zadina. He went to Detroit. Also, Zadina hasn't really figured it out, so people can't be mad about that right now.
Zadina's strange situation, man, because that guy in the queue was disgusting.
Yeah, but
just watching him buzz around.
That's the queue.
The queue's fucked. You ever gone over there and watched any games from the queue?
No, but just watching them on TV, you have to put up 2 points a game to be elite out of that league. You have to be Lafreniere.
I was gonna say he's got 3 points per game right now.
It's ridiculous. It's unfair.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, Barrett Hayton.
It's a weird way of hockey though. There's a lot of
It is. It's so different.
Yeah.
It's crazy, within a country, how different it can be.
French people, they're nuts.
Yeah, but even comparing those two to the WHL, the WHL's always just been rough and tough.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. But Barrett Hayton, he's played 2 games this year, has 1 assist. What's the point in keeping your first-round talent there?
That doesn't make sense. I don't like it.
Is there anything to that?
Put up he had almost 2 points. No, he had almost 2 points per game in his last year junior. 6 points in 39 games. Yeah. And he dominated the playoffs that year too. Put him in, give him a chance.
He's proven he can play at juniors.
Yeah. But a lot of people have proven that they can play at juniors and not been able to figure it out in the NHL.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's that. I think they just think he's not physically ready yet, and so they're not playing him. But how does sitting in the press box do you any good?
It doesn't. Obviously, your development sucks. You need to be going somewhere and getting on the ice.
And this is where the whole dumb rule about the AHL comes in, where you can't go there. They need to change that. It's been a problem for at least 1 or 2 guys every year that could have they tear up junior, but they can't pack it yet.
Arizona's had a real big trouble with developing their top talent too, though.
They have,
look at Dylan Strome.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing this year, but last year he showed up to Chicago and it's oh shit, that's a player.
He's
Like-
sitting at a point per game right now, which is still like good.
way better than he was there.
That's a lot better than nothing. So
The only one that they've really developed and formed was Chikrin, and I'd argue he was NHL ready the second he was drafted.
Yeah, he was disgusting.
in their
That's
defense,
size.
they are 5-1 in their last 6 since dropping their opening 2. So I mean,
They've looked good.
it's tough to put them in the line. I think they want them in there, but it's tough to like mess with the flow and be like, all right, go ahead,
But they
man.
don't because they didn't play him the first 3 games of the year.
Yeah,
He didn't get his first sniff till the 4th game.
yeah.
And like I get it, maybe they're keeping him around to practice and say, "Oh, get used to this. This is what you're gonna do." Maybe they want him to work out and blah 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 blah.
Get to know
But
that.
but like you're trying to tell me that lineup couldn't use a top 5 pick?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle to find out what Arizona is every year because like they're always
this is the best they've
consistently-
looked in a while.
Yeah, but they never start like this, and they always have like lackluster starts, and then they kind of get a little better in the middle, and then they're buzzing by the end, but it's never enough.
You've got your good decor.
Yeah.
They've got their top line now.
Yeah.
Keller, Kessel, and Stepan.
Mm-hmm.
You've got good depth scoring, realistically, between Fisher, Dvorak, Krause, Richardson had 20. Grabner's good for about 3 breakaways a game and maybe 1 shot on net. I don't know, like they.
And
I
Kemper's
had him in
been
the
very,
playoffs, and I'm
very
standing
good.
by it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's a strange team.
Yeah, no, I just wanted you guys' take on that because I just think it's a dumb situation. I think
Yeah, you're
send him
hurting
down
his
to junior.
development.
Like,
There's no sense in holding him up there because, like we said with Justin Hall, man, like sitting in the press box isn't gonna make you any better.
yeah, and I
And
get
especially
it.
for a kid of that age.
You almost just wish they'd say their plan. Like, if they're going to keep him and rotate him in, say, every 3rd game. Like, whatever they did with Stamkos. Remember his first year? When he played every 3rd game, and then he'd go work out, and then he'd practice with them, and then maybe they're going to do that till December, and then send him down, light up the World Juniors. Sure.
Yeah.
But just say that, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And the rumor is that the Sioux will trade him if he gets sent back down. So it's not like he's going to be playing on a bottom team. He's going to go to a contender right away.
Yeah.
Given a big role.
17 first-round picks.
Probably London get paid.
Yeah, shocker.
London brought in Markley, right? That was the thing.
Yeah, he's such a.
Yep, I've heard enough about that kid. Who do you want to talk about next? We got a couple teams. Do you want to start with Florida?
Yeah. What do you guys think about Florida so far? I mean, everybody. I don't know if we were, but everybody who knows something was hyping them up and saying that they were going to be the most improved team this year. I don't know. What do you got so far? Like, they don't look great.
Mac?
They've been getting better, but defensively they've been brutal.
Which is
Like-
surprising to me under Quenneville.
Yeah.
Is it though? Chicago's never really been a good defensive team.
They were,
No, but they were structured at least.
They were structured, but they just outscored everybody back in the
Yeah.
day. Even when they won the
Like-
playoffs, they were
Yeah.
a fast offensive team.
Yeah, they were good transitionally, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Which isn't good defensively, but
they were fast before it was cool.
Like Florida's now in a playoff spot.
yeah. They've
scored
turned it on the
30
last
goals.
couple of games.
But
For
they
sure,
have
like you
33
said.
goals against. They're -3 goal differential.
Bobrovsky has not looked like Bobrovsky up until like last game. Like I have him in fantasy,
Yeah.
and he's been doing nothing for me because it's just he's had some like 5-goal games, and I'm like, hey, like it's not a pretty start for him, but like it's kind of what you expect at him sometimes. Like he'll go on these stretches where you're like, this guy is making $10 million,
Yeah.
but then you'll go on stretches like, oh right, okay, no, he's worth that $10 million, and it's like you just never know what you're gonna get with him. So I think as long as he's going to stay inconsistent, that team's going to be inconsistent. But once he locks it down, then yeah, that team's something to look out for.
Yeah.
Because
And
that front 6 unit is gross.
it is. That's sneaky one of the best lines in
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah.
First line.
Yeah.
Barkov, the most overrated, underrated player.
I was going to say the
Yeah.
consistently most underrated player, but I don't know who's underrating him. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I will say Ekblad missed last game, maybe even the one before, and he's going to miss the next game too. He's been out sick, which changes your D drastically. That bumps. Right now they're rolling Matheson and Strawman on their top pair.
Ooh.
Not ideal.
No.
In terms of advanced stats, I don't know how much you guys are into the advanced stats, but
Brant has an Ottawa jersey
Bobrovsky's
on.
been
Not much.
brutal.
Sorry.
So, expected save percentage on unblocked shots,
Yeah.
Bobrovsky should be around a 94.8. He's at a 92.57. That's the worst save percentage above expected in the league. He's also giving up a rebound on 7.36% of his shots.
Ooh.
Or his saves, sorry. That's 3% more than anybody else that's played more than 6 games.
Like, that's what I mean. He just hasn't been Bobrovsky, which is it hurts. Like, it's when you pay that much for a goalie and he's kind of not contributing to what he should be. It's like, oh shit, now what?
And that's the thing with free agency. They had to pay him that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody was going to pay it to him. It just happened to be them.
Yeah. Also,
Speaking
Trocheck has been out. Sorry.
Okay.
Throw that in. That's a big piece out the middle for them.
Yeah, for sure. Defensively too. You look at the other side of the spectrum for save percentage above expected, and you see Mike Smith is number 1. The guy's been on fire this year. I mean, he's probably been the biggest prover of doubters so far early on this year.
Yep.
Yeah, but Mike Smith does this all the time. He goes on runs where it's just like, oh, he's back, and then it's just like, oh, wait a sec.
Speaking of advanced stats, I don't know if you guys saw it on Twitter the other day. I just wanted to throw it in there. There was I forget who did it, but shout out to him. It was listing the top 5 in shooting percentage plus save percentage.
Okay.
Which typically you're around 1,000.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works.
Yeah.
Colorado leads the league in that. I want to say it was 1,058.
Okay.
And so obviously that's a metric used for regression, like saying you can't sustain that. And Colorado retweeted it with like a smirky face or something. They were like boasting like it was a good thing that they were top in the league in it. Meanwhile, it's a regression stat. It was just
sorry, boys.
Yeah. Media guy doesn't know analytics.
Grubauer's been ridiculously good, and their players have been also very good. So
Yep.
And that's advanced stats with Mac.
It's the good analytical words you need. He's been really good.
Dumbing
Team's
it
also
down
been
right
really
there.
good. It's a good team. They're good. John Gibson can't let Anaheim be bad, eh? Just doesn't happen. In the beginning of the season.
He doesn't want Alex Lafreniere, I guess.
Which, like, I get it. The guy's incredible. It's just like he does this all the time where it's just he just shows up, puts the team on his back. For last year, he did it for half a season, had them in a playoff spot, like in the middle of the season. I'm like, holy shit, he might win.
Even against Edmonton, 2 years ago in the playoffs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, guy's an incredible goal. I think he's a little underrated, to be honest. Like, he doesn't get a lot of love.
Yeah, it's because he gets hurt halfway through the year every single year.
Yeah.
But maybe they can spin it like, oh, let's let Ryan have both of these back-to-back games. Take these ones off, John. Mm-hmm. Save yourself.
We're resting him for the playoffs that we get to.
Miller's gonna play this whole 5-game homestand. You just rest up, pal.
Just take a seat. Don't worry, we got this. Relax. Mac, your team. What's going on here, man?
I honestly don't think they've looked that bad. No. I mean, Crawford's had a little bit of a slow start, but Leonard looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's got a 943 right now.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Offense has been a little bit slow, but you know it's going to come back. They've got a really deep offensive, line up front. Kane, Taves, DeBrincat, Strome, and the additions of Kubelik and another young forward. I can't remember his name right now, but they've been really impressive.
Yeah.
Huh?
Big fan.
Good old, what's his name? Playing really good.
I don't have the roster right in front of me right now. I can, though.
Oh, you're good.
What was your hot take on Alex Nylander again?
50 points.
50 points. He's got 4 and 6.
on pace.
He might be proving you're right. He's looked good at times. I've seen like highlights of him doing things like, all right, maybe he's back to what he was before he got drafted.
One Shaw spotted a couple goals. Kirby Dach was just scored in his second game, better than Jack Hughes. Totally kidding. Jack Hughes is probably going to start, I don't know, opening the floodgates now that he's got a couple points under his belt. But going back to Chicago, they've also only played 7 games, right? It's tough to compare them to other teams right now just because they haven't had the same quantity. Like the Leafs are 11 games, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Schedule sucks. I hate it.
David Kampf, is that who you were going for?
No, I was actually trying to think of Nylander and
that guy.
The guy who had all the confidence in to start.
Yeah.
What's his name? Yeah.
All I was gonna say on them is they've just looked inconsistent to me.
Yeah.
Like they've looked really good some nights, and then last night against Vegas, I didn't love that performance. Washington, they looked good even though they lost. Edmonton,
They looked good defensively last night, though.
Yeah.
Oh, they've also had a pretty tough schedule. I mean, Philly, that game's kind of a write-off. That game went either way. It's 4-3, right?
It's a coin toss.
Yeah. You should give them a point for having to fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. San Jose, they just got back on their flight. They stayed a couple extra days, so they were still jet-lagged, arguably.
San Jose had lost, 3 in a row at that point?
Yeah, so they're obviously hungry for a win. They lost a close one in overtime to Winnipeg. They came out and beat Edmonton team that was 5-0 at the time.
Yep,
and
they looked really good
too until late in the game.
They looked really good that game.
They beat Columbus in overtime. Lucky goal by Taves. Obviously, it was just off his ass or off the shin pad.
Yep.
Washington's a really good team.
Yep.
Lost 5-3. Close game against Vegas. Played really good defensively. Lost 2-1 in the shootout. So, I don't know. I think they've looked a lot better than the stats show right now.
They just need a bigger sample size.
Yeah, they've got a good little stretch here. They got Philly again at home. Then they go to Carolina, have the Kings, and then Nashville, and then they play they go out and take on the West Coast, LA, Anaheim, and San Jose again. So we'll see after that if they can string a few wins together here, and I fully believe that they can. So.
Does Mac look like more of a homer talking about the Blackhawks when there's 2 Chicago jerseys floating above his head? Or?
No, because he's wearing a John Gibson jersey right now. Also, Taze hasn't looked great to me. He's still doing the little things defensively, and I'm sure he'll figure it out.
I don't understand where they split Kane and Taves up right off the bat. Why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Put up record numbers for himself last year with Kane.
Yeah.
Why separate that? Why separate DeBrincat and Strome?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought those were the 2 duos that they were going to stick with, and they threw that to the fire real quick.
I guess defensively they've looked a lot better. I mean, Shaw, Taves, and Brincat defensively would look really, really good.
Yeah.
And then throwing Kirby Dach instead of Nylander on that line has helped a little bit defensively and offensively so far with Strome and Kane. But at the same time, if they're going to get offense late in the game, they got to throw those 2 lines back together.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Well, that's enough homer talk.
Anyway, we can move on from the Hawks.
3/4 of this pod is
a little bit.
Hawks.
That's what we're here for. We're here to give them hometown.
So the Blackhawks went into what? Or sorry, not the Blackhawks. The Sabres went into what? It was either November or December last year on a 10-game winning streak.
Yep.
We're in first place in the league and ended up quite a bit out of the playoffs. Do you see that happening again, or they're first place in the league right now, right?
The big thing I heard with them and a lot of the teams that are really hot right now is that their power play is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Do you think you hold that all year long though? Like, I mean, it's like astronomically high.
We're talking about underrated really players. That Eichel's got to be in that conversation.
Underrated?
Underrated.
I think the most underrated player right now on their team is Rasmus Dahlin.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to tell me Jack Eichel and Rasmus Dahlin are 2 of the more underrated players.
Yeah.
When do you hear about them?
Dahlin every
Eichel's
second until he got drafted, and then he's had 1 year in the league. I think it's tough to say he's underrated already.
He has
Eichel's
7
a
power
per
plays.
game player.
So is Ike, or so is Dahlin.
Yeah.
Eichel,
Yeah.
When's Eichel been like, okay, yeah, that's the Jack Eichel we thought he was going to be?
Every time he goes up against Matthews and he puts up, Matthews gets 2 points and Eichel gets 3.
Okay. But like consistently over the season.
I think Eichel is going to push to be a top 10 player by the end of this year.
Okay. I mean, if you say so.
Okay,
but it's tough to call him. It's tough to call him underrated now.
If Buffalo says, "Hey, we want a winger, we'll give you a third line center in Toronto, Eichel for Marner," I'm running with that.
You're gonna run Eichel on your third line?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm putting it in perspective that I'm taking Eichel over Marner on a team any day, and I don't think a lot of people give him credit.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair, but
the biggest knock on them is that their goaltending's not going to be able to stay this hot. Their D is good. McCabe, Risto, Dahlin, who we said is amazing, Colin Miller, steal of a pickup. I don't know why the Leafs didn't get him. Cost a second rounder to get a top 4 right-handed defenseman. Nice. Played in the Sioux, too. Missed on that one, Dubas? And then they got Joka Harju, who they got for Max Boy Nylander. And Montour's hurt. Scandella, whatever, he can be your 6D. He's Martin Marincin.
They also got Zach Bogosian.
Yeah, he kind of sucks.
He's great defensively, though.
Yeah, he is. He's getting slow. But yeah, that right there, that's 8 NHL defensemen. I mean, they've got former top 5 pick Casey Middlestat on their 4th line. Jimmy Vesey, who was all the rage a couple years ago, on their 4th line.
Because he's also been trash. Like there are a lot of guys that had hype.
The reason why Eichel is underrated,
he never plays. He's never played a full season.
Neither's Matthews.
I know. I'm not saying he has, but like, I mean, like 81 games his first year. Okay, he was close. 61 the next year, 67 the next year, 77 last year. So like last year you're looking like, oh, maybe he could get healthy again, and he still got 77.
Yeah, that definitely matters, but also those teams sucked. So did they really miss out on anything? Now I actually feel like they have a good team.
He's not even a career point per game player.
Okay, he was in 2016. He was 4 points off. In 2017, he was 3 points off.
Yeah, like he's not far off, but
he was 5 above.
But he's not. So
neither's Matthews.
Maybe Matthews is overrated. I'm not saying Jack Eichel's not a good player. I'm just saying I don't think he's very underrated. I think you hear a lot about this kid for what he is. I just think we don't listen to the Buffalo market all that much. But Jack Eichel's hyped up as one of the best centermen in the league a lot. And I don't know if that makes him. I don't know what part gets him underrated.
I've never heard that he's ever been the best center in the league. But the reason why I say he's underrated is because he's compared to not Matthews, but McDavid all the time. That was the same draft. And the difference between them obviously is substantial. But people blow it even more in proportion to say, hey, he's a bust. Look at what he's doing.
I don't think, no.
Not a bust, but look what he can do compared to McDavid, right?
Yeah. Which there was never.
That's why he's underrated. I mean, when he's healthy, his first healthy season, other than his rookie season, he had 82 points in 77 games.
Yeah. He's great. I just think it's a stretch to say he's underrated right now because
in the NHL top 50 that they released at the start of this year that everybody was talking about, he was like 42. He ain't 42.
No.
I mean, whatever. If he wasn't in Buffalo and if he didn't have a ginger afro, he'd be.
He's an ugly man.
Yeah, bad hair.
That 1-2 of their team of Dahlin and Eichel is an ugly pairing.
They're in for some tough marketing campaign coming up.
Yeah, what's the actual face of your franchise? Because it's definitely not them. Ouch. I'm sorry, boys.
So it's not Sam Reinhart either.
No, might be Ristolainen, but like
maybe Olafsson.
Just because he looks like the dude from Rocky.
Yeah. Yep. That's pretty much it. Do we have anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, one more thing on Buffalo. Friedman did a article there, 31 Thoughts, this week's episode. He said he did an interview with Hutton, and Hutton said that Eichel is a lot more professional this year. He's been taking a lot, not less stupid penalties, but a lot less selfish penalties. And even when they're down in the locker room, he's a lot more calm in the room.
Okay.
I don't know if that's kind of
Could play into it.
could play into the rest of the season, and we'll see how he does the rest of the year. But yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction.
In the
Hot
past,
start.
you've seen it a lot too, where like he'll feed Okposo backdoor, Okposo misses it, and he throws his hands up, and it just like he's portrayed himself a lot better this year, and like I think he's actually settled into the captaincy role kind of now, whereas opposed he was just handed it before. And
so is their start legit then?
I think it's more legit than it was last year.
Okay.
If their goalies keep a 920 save percentage for the better part of this year, it's legit. But right now, Hutton's at a 953 with 2 shutouts. And let me tell you, that ain't staying, bro.
No.
Their power play percentage won't stay either. It will go down a bit.
No.
So, hey,
I mean,
there's a lot of
Victor
factors.
Holofson's just going to keep ripping power play goals, apparently. That's his job.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zach. Do you want to talk about Pasta, or do you want
to? We could throw, since we're talking underrated, let's throw Pasta in there. Okay. When does he get credit? There was a lot of points where he was the third best player on his line.
Yeah. No.
But
that guy's
a legitimate star, man.
He's leading the league in goals.
Leads the league in goals, and you look at the top 10 in goals right now, and the only guys that you aren't like, oh yeah, he's gonna fall off, is Pasta, Matthews, and Ovi.
Mm-hmm.
You look at like, I don't know.
How many of those goals have come against the Leafs this year already?
Enough, more than enough.
3?
I think he's got at least 3, right? Yeah.
The confidence to go between the legs like that.
Yeah, that was gross.
Yep.
That was like JVR, but nicer.
He knows he owns the Leafs, though, eh? Like, he just goes out there, he's like, yep, I got this, thanks, rip.
Did you watch that thing on Nylander and him?
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't catch
so
all of it.
Awkward.
Yeah.
What?
It's a strange friendship.
It was just like following them around in suits in Stockholm, asking them about like their friendship growing up. Nylander's wearing his Harry Potter tinted lenses.
It's such a bad look for him. I hate it.
They're just like talking about like eating and where they're gonna live and like how they were friends.
Sweet.
It was really cute. It was a nice moment between the two friends.
Yeah.
Don't you dare delete that.
All right, what do you want to talk about this thing for? You bring that up because I have no idea what it is.
So I saw an interesting, capture of a screen on Instagram there. So the site that it's called Money Puck, but they do expected goals for percentage. So it takes into a lot of things. It takes on minutes per game. It takes on shot quality. It takes on chances. So it's basically how well a line's performing, and it also takes on what line it is too. So if they're first, second, third, or fourth line. So basically, I just wanted to give the top 5 performing lines on this list. So you got Marchessault, Carlson, and Smith for Vegas.
Okay. Nice.
Gergensons, Larson, and Okposo as a third line in Buffalo.
Okay.
The way they're performing at that third line minutes.
Oh, okay. So just how they're doing better than they should be doing. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I was
it's not necessarily the 5 best lines. It's just it's
who's
how much
overperforming.
Better. Yeah. Right. Keller, Stepan, Kessel, Bertuzzi, Larkin, and Mantha.
That one makes a lot of sense.
And Janssen, Matthews, and Nylander.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So.
Would you say that the Matthews line is overperforming?
For how many minutes they get?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But they're not getting, I guess, because they're technically getting second line minutes. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. That Larkin Mantha line is buzzing.
Is Bertuzzi still with them?
Mantha's got 7 goals now. I think it is. Scored his 7th last night. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who had that coming into the season?
I drafted him, but that's about it.
Yeah, like maybe he can turn it around, 15th. Pick him up. Why not?
I had him in like the 15th round. So looks great in a keeper league now.
Yeah, there you go. Congrats. I love it. You got anything else, Nick? Or?
I was gonna throw in start doing a little CHL recap. Not all prospects yet, because we don't have time for that. But we touched on Lafreniere earlier. He's got 35 points in 14 games in the queue. I don't know if that's good. I just wanted to ask if that's good.
Pretty good.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. So obviously projected first overall pick. Going to the OHL, we got Byfield at 27. That's also pretty good. He's going to be a top 5 pick for sure. Perfetti's third in the OHL with 24. He's also likely a top 5 pick. He's looked real good. Also in the OHL, just wanted to throw Arthur Kaliev. Got it slipped much farther than he should have last year. What?
You go to Montreal?
LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fell so much further than he should have. A lot of metrics, like prospect projections and whatnot, have him right now as a first-line NHLer. He fell so far in the draft for no reason. Like, he put up so many points last year. He's already got 25 this year. He scored the Michigan lacrosse goal behind the net already. Yep.
Yeah.
Siri just went off.
Thanks, Siri. Appreciate it. She knows about Arthur Kaliev.
Philip Tomasino is 4th. He's got 23. I was pumping his tires in some draft articles last year. Yeah. Shout out to me. WHL.
Congrats.
Nothing really.
It's a league. They're fun.
Yeah, they have like the most WHL names going right now. The highest guy, Connor Zary, has 20 points. So again, it's not on the scoring pace as the other two.
No.
Just to touch on another prospect that's supposed to go top 5, just to get in that kind of circle. Lucas Raymond, who plays in the SHL for Frölunda.
Amazing.
They played in something called the Champions Hockey League over there. Not many people probably know about that. They played 4 games. He had 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. He was also +5 against men.
Yeah,
so
full grown.
He's projected to go 2nd overall by hockeyprospect.com and ranked 3 by Future Considerations. No other rankings come out to my knowledge. Craig Button, I'm still up in the air with.
Nothing.
So yeah, he's going to be a top 5 guy as well, and I'm sure he'll push with Byfield for that 2nd spot.
I wanted to throw Jamie Drysdale's name too. He's the top-rated D right now. I think he's 10th Future Considerations. He's amazing. Like last year, he was disgusting. I put him as player to watch in a couple pre-games for the own Sound Attack, so not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
But he's got 18 points in 12 games as a defenseman on one of the worst teams in junior hockey, so I think that's also good.
I did not know there was a goalie that's supposed to be in the top 5 this year.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about top 5. I feel like they just always fall.
He's playing in basically as the AHL of Russia right now.
Yeah.
VHL. He has 9 games played, 270 goals against average.
They've already said he's better than Samsonov, whose tires we pumped earlier. Oh, that's pretty good.
And last episode, and we'll probably continue to pump as long as we're here. Yeah.
And I mean, just to finish it off.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in all the draft goalies later? You never know what they're gonna be. Like, it's kind of to the point where we can, with stats, you can kind of predict it better. Like Spencer Knight was 13th last year. He is absolutely tearing it up.
Yeah.
Like, you could look at that in 10 years and he could have 3 cups and be like, maybe 13th to Florida was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like Florida taking him, but that was just me.
I did, just in case they didn't get Bobrovsky, because then who are they going to play in 2 years?
But didn't they have Bob at that point?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No,
I would say no, because that was the draft and then free agency.
Okay. Just seems strange, but...
Yeah, so he's at Boston College, which college hockey is usually pretty high scoring. He's got a 2.5 goals against with a .924 save percentage.
Oh, not bad.
4 for 4 with 2 shutouts.
Not bad.
It's okay.
Is that good?
That.
Is that good stats? What do the analytics say? He's a good goalie? Is that what the analytics are telling me?
Yeah.
All right. Mac, do you got any way for me to spend my money? Or no? Because Nick and I are not doing very good.
I honestly have not been doing well this past week and a bit either.
Nice.
Looking ahead, I'll take a quick look here just to...
All right, give me Give me a
Tomorrow.
pick, because Nick's had a rough stretch. He needs a little help. I lucked out of my ass last night and picked up Vancouver on the puck line, but like,
Wild comeback.
I loved it.
I had Boston last night on the puck
So did
line.
I.
It's a
So
pretty
did I.
simple pick.
Yeah.
I think if Leonard starts for the Hawks tomorrow, then maybe scoop them up against Philly on the puck line.
Elliott's confirmed for Philly, so that's a nice one.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't love anything.
Good.
I've got Washington over Edmonton tomorrow.
Just money.
I don't because of how Mike Smith played.
I do because of how Samsonov's played. No, I'm kidding, but I think they're going to have good odds just because everybody's still riding the Edmonton hype train, so maybe money line,
but
probably not spread.
McDavid and Draisaitl also haven't scored in the last 2 games, so
they're
gonna
about to
be
go off.
buzzing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So forget what I said, and we'll see you next week.
Just do not bet with Nick bets because it's not working out.
Hey, we're still in
That's
the
what
green,
we've
baby.
got.
Still in the green.
All right. Well, I think we're good, right? We got nothing else?
Oh,
Yeah, we're good.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us, and follow us on everything social media at The A Sports. Visit theasports.com, and we'll catch you next week.
and you can find Brant on Tinder.
Dope. Tender's a mess.